Welcome, everyone, to the original conference championship game. There's simply nothing quite like the intensity when an SEC title is on the line. All the legendary players, the epic moments who have made their mark on this occasion. The intensity is simply unmatched. Can't wait for this one. This is a matchup we've all been waiting for. Two teams ranked in the top 5, battling for a precious conference title, but also pointing to something even bigger, the college football playoff. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 1 team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined here in the booth by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get to the action on the field. Kickoff team is out there, and here we go. A conference championship on the line right now. He's going to return it from near the goal line. Returner tackle right there. That's where we'll start the drive. First down play call. How aggressive will it be? He'll hand it off. In the clear at the 25. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks more than enough for a first down.
Chris, I know it's the first play of the game, but boy, nice job on this offensive line. The back gets behind him, picks up some positive yards.
That's an important first down on that running play. Takes the handoff again. The gain moves the ball to the 34.
Great job by the offensive line here, opening up some holes and giving the running back room to run on first down. Plays like this can open up the playbook for the play caller, allow him to make that defense think, are they going to run? Maybe play action, maybe throw the ball downfield.
Second down after that run on the previous play. Handoff here from the shotgun. The sophomore with a strong tackle there.
Chris, you know, the spread era over the years has always grown offensively, but what I've been always impressed with defenses that really build their defense to play in space still have an ability to be sound at the line of scrimmage and defend a running game. It's exactly what we saw right there.
Offense gets set up here. It's third down. They'll try to move the chains here on the ground. He breaks into the clear. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play.
Boy, an opportunity missed here by this defense. They get him to third down. They load up the line of scrimmage. They could not deny this back of coming up with that conversion.
The Longhorns are moving quickly down the field. One back in the backfield, and he'll get the carry. They bring him down to the 27. This offense really threatening now.
Nothing better than an offense on first down to be able to pick up big positive yards like that. You can either keep giving it to the back, or it can set up play action and get the defense to come up to the line of scrimmage, and you can throw it over top of them.
The Longhorns starting a new series here on 1st and 10. The back's got it. And the tackle is made after a 4-yard gain, so 2nd and 6.
Chris, it's the consistency of this back is giving this defense fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, but it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
Here's the 2nd down play. Linebacker shifting around now. And he's brought down after a short gain. Does not make the first down yardage. Now it's 3rd and short from the 22. You expect this is 4-down territory. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. Quarterback checks the defensive look, makes some adjustments. Receiver makes the grab. Hard running through a tackle. The tackle is made, but the offense is now set up for the 1st and goal from the 8.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And, man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on 3rd down, get him the ball.
Longhorns looking to punch it in here. It's 1st and goal. Quarterback finds a target on the right. It's complete. And he takes it into the end zone, but hold on. There's a flag down. Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course. That's a new set of downs, and it's 1st and goal for the offense. Receiver in motion now. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. The defense swarms. He's going backwards. He'll lose 4 yards on the play.
Well, that's one of those plays that works better against certain defensive looks, but not every defense is the same. They were all over that one. Let's see if they continue to attack to the outside on the perimeter to set something up downfield.
After the big loss on 1st down, it's 2nd and goal, backed up. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. A pop pass on the jet sweep. Strong defensive effort. They've got him behind the line. He'll lose 5 yards.
This is a great job of being prepared by this defense, almost anticipating this play. They're in position to bring him down for a loss.
The offense facing a 3rd and goal from a long way away. Looking to throw. It's Hall. Running out of time in the pocket. Finds an open target on the left side. Steps out after a solid gain on 3rd and long, but not enough for a first. It's going to be 4th down here. The Longhorns will come to the line on 4th down, looking to convert. Play action fake, looking to throw. Launching one to the end zone. But it's incomplete. The defense makes a 4th down stop.
Chris, the design of this play is perfect. Everything you want to see. The quarterback puts the ball on the money. The ball's right in his arms. All he has to do is catch it for a touchdown, and he chops it on 4th down.
Right, so it's 1st and 10 back inside the 5-yard line. We're going to see how much this play caller trusts his quarterback. How aggressive will he be from this spot? We're going to dial up the pressure. Let's see if they bring the house. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. There's a loss after the completion. That's a good play by the defense. Getting set. Here's second down. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, that's the drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to this big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So after 2 empty downs, it's 3rd and long from their own 1. Will the defense come after him this time? Backed up at the 1, he's going to throw it. Fires it. And that one's picked off. What a play. And he'll be taken down, but after a good return.
Well, your best player's got to make big plays in these kind of moments, and that's what happened right here with this defensive back. The offense in a tie game in the red zone, looking at points, and instead, the defense with the interception. In a tie game, their offense now has the ball.
First play of the drive, they're going to throw the football. Quarterback delivers complete to the right side. Tackle after the completion down at the 1-yard line.
One thing I love about this back is how he gets involved in the passing game. Nice catch here.
First down gain sets the ball up close to the goal line. Can they finish it off here on 2nd and goal? And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. He'll make it into the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns. We had a short field. The offense did exactly what they're supposed to do. That would have been a big ask for the defense there.
Absolutely. But when you're given that kind of field position, anything less than a touchdown would be a disappointment. They did exactly what they needed to do by capitalizing on that short field.
PAT makes it 7-0. Kickoff team is on the field. See if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. Returner decides to fair catch this. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. This offense trying to bounce back the last possession and then in a pick. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Well, that was that excellent linebacker with a clear path just running downhill quickly.
You know, I think one of the great things about watching this guy play all year is his vision. He just has great instincts. That time, the defensive line ate up all the linemen, freed up the linebacker to get into the backfield, and the result is a tackle for a loss for the backer.
After a first down loss, it's 2nd and long from the 23. On the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. Lets it fly to the wideout. Intercepted, picked off by the defense. Not a long return, but the pick changes possession. The offense will take over at the 28.
Chris, he's just trying to find the hole in his own coverage. But, as you know, those windows can open and close pretty quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So, the timing's got to be just right, or you're going to see an interception like this.
The Longhorns offense takes the field. Remember, last time they scored a touchdown. Can they keep clicking here, or the defense come up with a stop? They'll hand it off. Only a short gain in that run. Defense able to pen him in.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound. It's really solid defense on that play.
Offense getting set. It's second down. Looking to pass. It's Hall. Throws to the tight end. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out the punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, he's unable to hold on to the football.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Receiver makes the catch, and he's brought down, but not before he gets first down yardage.
Well, it's third down. The defense knows he's going to get the ball. You still can't stop the quarterback finding this receiver to be able to pick up another first down for this offense.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. We'll have to see if the offense can build on this lead before the break. The Longhorns lining up here on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Oh, can you believe it? He dropped the ball. Don't see that often from this excellent receiver. He's going to bring up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass you got to have to come up with and make a catch.
Coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a third and long. Send the back in motion. To the air. It's Hall. Near the goal line. And they stop him just short. The defense really backed up now. It's first and goal.
I understand the concept of bringing the blitz, and you hope that it gets home. But if you don't, you leave your corner in man-to-man situation against this wide receiver. That is a tough ask for this corner, and he's going to lose that battle more often than not.
Longhorns come to the line with first and goal. You give it to the big fullback here. Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
Chris, you don't see it often, but how much do I love seeing that fullback get a touchdown. He blocks all the time. They rarely give him a chance to get his hands on the ball, and when he does, he's rewarded with 6 points.
They'll try to add the lead now with the PAT. With the PAT, they take a 14-0 lead. Now they get set to kick it away. And here's the fair catch by the return man. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. Timeout is called to talk strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. Time is running out before halftime to cut into this now 2-possession lead. Offense operating from the pistol. First play of the drive to come out throwing. And it's incomplete. Even on a first down throw, he was under some heavy pressure.
Man, you got to love this if you're defensive coordinator. It's all about affecting the quarterback and getting pressure on him. This time they got to him and forced that incompletion.
That play makes it 2nd and 10. The shotgun handoff here. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. 3rd and long. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. Down goes the quarterback. It's a sack.
Great call here going with that nickel defense, giving you more speed on the field on that 3rd down and long. Nowhere to go. Gave the defensive line plenty of time to come up with that sack. Now it's 4th down and long.
You cannot be serious. The head coach going for it. Backed up to his own end zone. 4th down. He's throwing for it. Pressure is coming. And he's swarmed by the pass rush. A sack to end this drive.
Chris, I just inside your own red zone and you're going for it here, you might as well just give the opponent the ball and a chance to score an easy touchdown.
See if they can punch it in. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to pick up the yardage on the ground. The junior able to bring him down quickly. Goal line formation for the defense. Quarterback appears to be changing the play. Trying to get to the end zone. They'll run it left. He powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns. Well, no surprise from offense this good. Short field, quick touchdown.
Yeah, you get into the red zone, though, there's a tendency to want to get conservative. I love that the offensive coordinator and the quarterback kept attacking until they came away with 7 points.
They convert the PAT, so the lead is now 21. So the offense getting some momentum before halftime with the touchdown. Now they kick off in hopes the defense can get a quick stop. And here's the return from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to bring him down. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. They've got a choice here in the final minute. Do they get aggressive, try to cut into this lead, or play it safe and point toward the second half? The pocket breaking down. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on first down.
Well, it's pretty simple. The defensive line does a great job of getting after the quarterback and forcing him into that incompletion.
So second down after the incompletion. Back to throw. It's Flanagan. trying to extend the play. Finding some room with the 25. He'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Man, this quarterback can play the game. He can throw, and as we see here, he can run the football. The defense does everything that they need to with the pressure. They look like they're in good position to be able to come up with a nice play on him, but instead, he shows how he can slip out of the back door of this defense and pick up a nice gain.
First down here for this offense. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun. Fired into a tight window and picked off. Not much on the return, but that's an important takeaway. Sets up the offense at the 34.
That offensive coordinator is going to have some choice words for his quarterback over the phone on the sideline after that throw. You have to be more careful with the football.
So on first down, the field goal unit will come out there trying to get 3 points before the half. And that is no good. That miss leaves us with a 21-point game. Miller's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it down to Kevin Connors with our halftime update. The Longhorns will kick it away to get us going in the second half. And the fair catch signaled for and taken. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. It's an out route, the catch made. That's good for a first down near the 40. The tackle made, but the sophomore quarterback showing us the arm strength.
You know, Chris, you think about it, efficiency has always kind of been the description of a great Alabama quarterback. Man, think about the playmakers that they've had over the last few years at this position. Jalen, Tua, Bryce Young recently. Just a different level of quarterback play and really gives this offense an edge to it.
He's hit right as he throws it, incomplete.
Well, these guys just continue to struggle throwing the football. You know, whether it's been running the wrong route, the quarterback not being accurate, the offensive line not doing their job. It's been a collective effort, and it's a big reason why they're trailing now in this game.
Second down after the incompletion. Looking to pass. It's Flanagan. Quick throw to his receiver. And the pass is intercepted. A takeaway for the defense. That's a pick and a long return before finally being taken down.
Boy, would this quarterback love to have this one back. They're trying to work themselves back into this game here in the second half. And the defense comes up with a big turnover that could breathe a nail in the coffin.
Okay, the Texas offense comes back out on the field. They've really built momentum in this game. They've been hard to stop. Can the defense make some adjustments, come up with a stop here? They'll go with the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff.
Well, the defense coordinator this week all week telling us about gap integrity, not giving this running back any creases at all. Really sound defense on that play.
Second down after that run on the previous play. Takes the handoff again. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time.
Chris, what I love here is just a vision by the running back. Showing great patience, the hole opens up, and then he's able to use his speed to pick up some good yards.
The Longhorns are looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. They feed the fullback this time. Coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a 3rd and long. They'll try and run it with the fullback. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain. An important 3rd down conversion coming here in the red zone. And he's pushed out of bounds after a short run. Not enough for a first. The offense couldn't convert on 4th down the last time in this situation. Let's see if they can this time. Looks like the QB is changing the play at the line. And he's throwing for it on 4th down. Makes the catch. Can he get in? And he's not going to get there. The defense rises up and makes a huge 4th down stop.
Chris, what a great job here by this defense on this 4th down play. They knew exactly where to come up with that stop to get the turnover on downs, and they did it.
So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pulls it in. It's James. They stopped the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play.
When you throw an out route against man coverage, and it puts a premium on a receiver who can set up the defensive back to be able to still have room to get to the outside and be timed up with a quarterback. That was great execution.
To throw, it's Flanagan. It's incomplete. That was caused by the defensive pressure. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Kind of a fine line here, Chris, for me when it comes to throwing a screen pass. You don't want to throw it too early, obviously, and the defense reacts quickly and can sniff it out. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late and potentially get sacked. You got to make sure it hits just right for this play to work.
It's a heavy blitz look here. Let's see if they bring the house. On 3rd down, it's a handoff. They make the stop just short of the first. Looks like inches to go, and now 4th down. You cannot be serious. This coach is going to go for it. Backed up to his own end zone. Here we go on 4th down. Takes a big shot there from the defense, but moves the sticks. 1st down.
I can really appreciate this offensive coordinator not trying to just do something crazy. You're less than a foot away from the 1st down line. Just punch it in and pick up a 1st down. That's what they call here, and it works out perfectly.
And the single back takes the handoff. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, they keep trying to run the football, and they keep getting dominated at the line of scrimmage. That has been a theme throughout this entire game. We've talked about it earlier in the game. It's not changing at all. They've become one-dimensional, and I think it's allowed this defense to really lock in on that quarterback.
Now they'll switch it up, looking to throw the ball here. The QB throws his 3rd pick of the day. Short return tackle at the 21, but that's a huge takeaway for this defense.
Chris, that is back-to-back drives right now for this quarterback and this offense. Nothing seems to be going right. The defense is doing a good job of confusing the quarterback, who's obviously throwing the ball into coverage. They've got to make some adjustments with their attack because right now it's not working.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage and not give up big run plays.
Bringing pressure. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete. They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. Looking downfield, it's Hall. He's got it near the end zone. Touchdown, Texas. And the beatdown continues. Well, they began with great field position, and that didn't take long at all, Kurt.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an opportunity. Your defense sets you up in great field position. You're not looking for a field goal. You're looking for a touchdown. Give the credit to this offense for being aggressive and punching it in.
Automatic on the PAT. Kickoff team on the field getting set now. And from deep in the end zone, he'll bring it out. Solid coverage there. They get him at the 15. That's where the offense will take over. The offense will line up. Chance for a couple more plays before the end of the quarter. Here comes a first down pass attempt. And they hit him just as he releases the ball. It's incomplete. And one final play before the end of the quarter. Timeout is called by the defense. That's their first of the half. Second down play coming up. Quarterback drops back. We're going to test the secondary. And they've got him. A sack with the defense. They'll take momentum into the final quarter of play. A big play here after the break. Offense trying to convert here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. It's Flanagan. It's picked off again, the 4th for this QB today. It's a short return, but a takeaway for this defense.
Well, that interception really about cost them the game here. And I understand. You got to do everything you can to get back in it, down by a couple scores. But the interception, for the most part, seals the deal for the defense.
Longhorns hoping to punch it in here. They have 1st and goal. Now, wasn't alert enough. Didn't get the playoff. That'll cost them 5 yards. So that offensive penalty will be declined, but the defense are happy to take the result of that play. 1st down and goal now. Can they punch it in? And the quarterback just kneels down. All back at the 10-yard line now for 2nd and goal. And the offense just takes a knee here. Offense moving backwards here, a long way from the goal line now.
3:25.
Handoff to the fullback. And now the defense able to bring him down.
What a stop by this defense here on 3rd down and goal. They've been put in a very tough situation, and 3 straight plays, they've stepped up. Now, a big decision for the head coach for the offense. What is he going to do here after those 3 plays? Is he still going to try to get this touchdown?
Okay,
It's
ready?
4th and goal. Forget the chip shot. They're going for it on 4th down.
Slam.
And the fullback gets in on the action with the carry. Touchdown, Longhorns. And the route is on.
That's another touchdown for these guys. Man, they have had a day that you dream about, whether it's the quarterback, the running back, the receivers, the offensive line. The entire unit has been dominant.
And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away.
Texas.
He'll call for the fair catch here. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. And the single back takes the handoff. And he heads out of bounds, moving backwards on that play. Didn't want to take the hit.
Chris, has just really been the story of the game. This defense has completely eliminated this offense's ability to run the football, made them one-dimensional, and that's why they haven't been able to put many points on the board.
To throw, it's Flanagan. Looks over the middle, and that's complete. They tackle him. Looks like it's going to be just short of the mark, inches away.
How about the job by this defense against this receiver? One of the top receivers in the country. They knew he was going to be able to be a big factor in this game, and they have kept him quiet all game long until right now. In the 4th quarter, he comes up with his first catch.
It's a blitz look here from the defense. On 3rd and short, they try to pick it up on the ground. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
Chris, I'll be really honest with you. I don't know why they continue to try to run the football. I'm all about balance. I'm all about trying to make sure a defense has to defend the run and the throw. But at this point in the game, they haven't been able to run the ball. They're going to have to go through the air if they're going to come back and take a lead in this game at some point.
Needs a completion here on 4th down. And that's interception number 5. When will this QB get the hook? Big takeaway, now looking for a big return. Return to pick 6. Touchdown, Texas.
Great job here by the defense coming up with yet another play where they're just pouring it on today, dominating in every phase.
And the point after is good. Set to kick the ball off now.
Texas.
And the return man decides to signal fair catch. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. They have got to bounce back on this possession after throwing a pick 6 last time out here. Looking to throw it on 1st down. And they heave it deep downfield. And this is dropped. Would have been a huge gain, but he could not collect it. Offense lines up for a 2nd down play off the incompletion.
This is smart defense. When you're trying to protect the lead late in the game, you know they're going to take some shots, get those safeties and those defensive backs back far, anticipating a deep throw, and knock the ball away.
And the senior making a disruptive impact play.
Man, how impressive have these guys been in this football game? I really expected to see a very different outcome with the hype of this quarterback and the way he's played most of this year. But this defense has held him under 200 yards passing. They've got a nice lead, and they are not sitting back and resting on their laurels. They're applying more pressure, and they come up with a sack here.
We've reached the 2-minute warning here. This offense needing to score and then get the football back. They bring the punter onto the field now. Oh, it's a fake here, trying to run for it on the direct snap. They don't get the first down. The return team all over it. They stop him short. That fooled absolutely no one. They were all over that. Now the offense is set up with a short field. Quarterback changing the play now at the line. Back to pass. It's Hall. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete. Offense getting set. Second down play here. And he's back to throw again after that incompletion on first down. And it's just beyond the receiver's grasp. Too much on that one. They move the ball into good position, but now it's 3rd and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Oh, and another incompletion.
Hey, it's an incompletion, but it's a nice job by the quarterback. I know it didn't pan out, but the most important thing is he didn't turn the football over and he didn't take a sack. It'll give your kicker a chance to put some points on the board if they opt for the field goal here on 4th down.
Trying for a 4th down completion. And they can't complete it. It's a turnover on downs. Defense stepping up there.
I really thought that this was going to work out, showing an aggressive approach here, going for it on 4th down. Looked to be there. They just weren't able to complete it.
Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. This one has been a beatdown for the ages, a demolition, an evisceration. It's a screen pass complete to the running back. They bring him down, but not before he gains first down yardage.
Hey, that's a great gain right here for these guys, and it hasn't been a good day, let's face it. But I love the fact that they're still fighting. And a drive like this, who knows what it could do for you. Maybe get points on the board, maybe not able to come back in this game, but man, it could really help you down the road as far as showing what your character is about and how you're not giving up.
Dropping back, it's Flanagan. And that's incomplete. Even on a first down pass attempt, he felt heavy pressure.
How about the defense today? They have played so well. I think the defensive coordinator put together a great plan. His kids clearly understood their scheme because they have been aggressive and attacking all game long.
Incompletion makes it 2nd down. And the quarterback dropping back. Looks like he's going to run it. Quarterback gets down to avoid the tackle.
Chris, watch him work through his progressions here. Finds the first and the second option aren't there. By the third option, he's got to pull it down and try to pick up some positive yards, of which he did, and then he slides down to avoid the big hit.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. Short connection to the tight end here. They bring down the receiver, but that's a nice gain on that play. Important 2nd down play coming up. Here's the snap, looking to throw. He's going to take off here. slides to avoid the big hit.
I really like this call by this offense on second and short. Looking to maybe take a shot downfield. Nobody is open, so instead, he's able to just tuck it, run, and pick up a nice first down.
And looking to throw now on first down. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He's brought down quickly as short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker.
Chris, now that we're in the final couple minutes of this game, it's a good time to just kind of step back and appreciate the job this defense has done throughout the entire game. They've applied pressure. They've been physical at the line of scrimmage. Good job in space. And a big part of the reason that they have such a big lead today.
So now it's 3rd and short from the 30. Chance for the defense to make a play here and perhaps force a field goal attempt. He's running out of time here. He stays alive. Escapes the pocket. Finding space at the 20. And they wrap him up and bring him down in what is the final play of the game. Wow, what a tremendous run these guys have had, and now they can call themselves champions of the SEC. That's one of the most difficult titles to earn in this sport. And now with the playoff looming, they can find out how they fare against the 11 other best teams in the nation. And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. Welcome, everybody, to New Orleans and the iconic Caesars Superdome, the long-term home of the All-State Sugar Bowl, which this year, of course, is part of the college football playoff. It's time now for the quarterfinals. For the top 4 seeds, a time to begin their quest toward the national championship. But they run into a battle-tested team already coming off one playoff victory, trying to shock the world here today and make the semifinals. As we'll see the number 8 seed in this playoff, the Florida Gators, taking on the top-seeded team in the playoff, the Texas Longhorns. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, here in the booth with Kirk Herbstreit. And here we go, a college football playoff quarterfinal game. We'll see which team's going to be moving on. Kickoff team out there. We're ready to rumble for this college football playoff game. And it comes out to the 25. No return attempted there. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. They're going to run it. Fights off a defender. Tackle made at the 37. That's a solid gain.
Chris, what a way to start this game. All this hype and build up in the playoff game. Offensive line says, hey, put it on our back. We'll be able to get things going. And if you can keep running the football like this, man, does it open up the entire playbook.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. A short completion to the tight end. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
Chris, we get so caught up in these wide receivers and their playmaking ability and getting them the ball in space. Like the defense has to pay attention to them. Often too much attention opens up an underneath drag route like this, and quarterback makes a good read. Nice first down.
Scanning the field. It's Hall. Defense is coming after him. And he's hit right as he throws it. Incomplete. Second down after that previous play. After the incompletion on 1st down, looking to throw it again. Pass not complete.
Well, this quarterback and his receivers have got to get on the same page. They've got to find a rhythm if they want to move the ball down the field.
Now it's 3rd and long for this offense. Football right at midfield. Dropping back. We're going to throw for the first down. Lets it go quickly. And it's intercepted. He stepped in front of that bullet. Can he take it all the way? Now look at the return after the interception. Sets the offense up in good shape.
And just like that, this defense takes advantage of a bad decision by... Steps in front of him for the interception. Now they've got great field position here early in this game.
This line getting set up. It's a first down play. Keep it on the ground. There's the handoff. They've got him after a 7-yard gain, so 2nd and 3.
I tell you, to be able to pick up a nice gain like that, those offensive linemen have to sustain their blocks. Gave them a chance and a really nice gain.
What's the play call here on second down for this offense? There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw. Checks this down to the running back. They stop him, but it's a first down. Tackle is made, but the junior quarterback shows off his arm strength that time.
Well, it's so easy to get caught up in the receivers and the quarterback, and your eyes get lost. You forget about the running back. Nice catch and a first down for this offense.
And the Gators are in the red zone. Snags a quick throw. He takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Gators.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath, just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner an opportunity to bring this back. So it'll be a touchback. Ball spotted at the 25. Offense takes the field. We'll see if this quarterback can shake off the interception he threw in the last possession. Here comes a handoff. Takes it out to the 44. That's good for a first down.
Chris, the thing that I love about this play is the running back showing great patience and then the vision to find that hole and then accelerate through it for a nice gain.
One play moves the ball to the 44, and it'll be first down. Scanning the field. It's Hall. The pass rush closing in. Gets the ball up as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
It has been a tough first half in this playoff game for this offense. They cannot get anything going through the air. Not only are they down the scoreboard, but there's really nothing to build around as we get ready to go into the second half.
So after the incompletion, it's second down. Quarterback adjusting now to the defense. They look to throw it here on second down. Quarterback moving out of the pocket, trying to create. Caught over the middle. It's Garcia. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of a first down.
It is tough on a defense when a quarterback gets out of the pocket and makes the defense have to decide, are we going to rush him or are we going to stay back in coverage? And there, the quarterback was able to keep looking downfield and find the receiver as the defense scrambled to adjust.
This offense picks up the first down. They tackle him at the 44.
It's a good job here by this offensive line and the running back. Listen, these guys have really had a lot to do with why they're in this playoff game, right? So give it to the offensive line in the back. Get the first down in this third and short. See what you can do from here.
They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4.
Chris, great job here by this defense. They're trying to bounce this to the outside, take advantage of the speed in the backfield, but no chance at all. The defensive speed, the ability to diagnose the play blows it up.
The offense with 5 receivers now, empty backfield. Pre-snap motion from the offense. Looking to pass here on second down. And he'll loft it to the end zone. They try a downfield shot. That's a good effort there. But now it's third down.
Well, this defense has been incredible all year long, and they continue to be that way in the postseason. Just getting after this offense, whether it's putting pressure on the quarterback, great coverage downfield. Right now, they are dominating this game.
Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. Quarterback making adjustments now to what the defense is showing. Looking for the wide out. Can't hold on. Good defensive play. Brings up a fourth down.
Boy, this is all about the defense here. Nice stop here on third down, but really it's about trying to get this offense behind the sticks. Once you get them behind the sticks, you can mix up your coverages, really affect the quarterback's eyes and disrupt the timing and the rhythm of what the offense is trying to do. Now we've got another big fourth down coming up.
And the Florida offense retakes the field. They scored a touchdown on the last possession. Let's see if this defense has been able to come up with some adjustments and stop them this time. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. He's past the 25. Brought down to the 28. That's good enough for a first down.
The defense has got to do a much better job here of adjusting to the pre-snap motion. They just kind of stayed in place, and it gave the receiver plenty of room there to make a nice play.
First down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? He'll hand it off. They tackle him at the 38. Solid gain. Nice play there.
Well, nice first down here by this running back, and what he's doing today makes me reflect on some of the great backs that they've had over the years in Gainesville. Emmitt Smith, arguably one of the best backs, if not the best back in the history of the game. Damian Pierce more recently, but even guys like Eric Rhett and Fred Taylor, just really talented running backs with the ability to take it to the house.
Quarterback escapes the pocket and takes off. Finds his target. Ball carrier wrapped up and brought down.
Hey, they get some positive yards here, but just from sitting up here looking down, Chris, I kind of have a sense that they wanted a little bit more on that play.
Now it's second down here. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. Running out of time in the pocket. And the sophomore able to bring him down quickly. Offense coming to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before we reach the end of the quarter. Third down, out of the shotgun. He's looking deep here. That deep shot is caught for a big gain. Touchdown, Florida. No chance to catch him.
That's what makes this guy so dangerous as a wide receiver. He can catch the ball underneath, shake and bake and go by you, or use his speed to get around you and make a big play like this for a touchdown.
They'll try to add the lead now with the PAT. The kick sails through, so the lead is 14-0. Kickoff team has come on the field now to send this one away. Here comes the return from deep in the end zone. Solid coverage there. They get him at the 15. That's where the offense will take over. Okay, the Texas offense comes back out on the field. The last drive, they came up empty, had to kick it away. Can they come up with something here? And he's tackled, but only after picking up a first down.
Boy, just a beautiful hole here opened up by this offensive line. And Chris, the more I watch this Texas running back, the more I'm starting to really appreciate things like his vision and instincts as a ball carrier. You know he's got that combination of power and speed. When you start to watch him run this football, you can see why defensive coordinators around the country are very nervous when they have to go up against him.
Defense able to stop the ball carrier there.
Well, the back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
Second down play coming up for this offense. And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. They stop him out at the 42. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go to the house for a touchdown. But the runs that really make a game plan work are the ones where you get just what you need. And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
About time this offense gets going. It's a 1st and 10. Quick throw caught on the left side. Breaks loose at the 40. Tackle is finally made, but it's down at the 28-yard line.
Boy, nice job here by this offense, creating an opportunity for this receiver to excel after the catch. It's early in this game, so this defense better get their arms around this receiver because he could be a monster today.
The Longhorns begin a new series here, 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's Hall. And now the ball comes out. A disastrous play from the start. And the ball will bounce out of bounds, so they avoid the turnover.
Boy, the defense would not be denied on this play. They come up with a sack. Quarterback really didn't have much of a chance at all. Lucky he just held on to the ball.
Sack sets up 2nd down. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He's moving out of the pocket now. Looks downfield and connects with a wide-open wide receiver.
Well, this was a beautiful play when the timing is right, as we see right here. The receiver's got to do a good job of working his way back to the football as the quarterback is throwing it. Timing here is impeccable.
The Longhorns looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. On 3rd and short, they hand the ball off. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, if somebody talks about a play being blown up, this is a great example of that. That's Exhibit A for how to be physical on defense.
Coach decides no field goal attempt. The offense is out there to go for it on 4th down. Finds this receiver. That's enough for the 1st down. They've got him, but he easily makes the 1st down, and this drive keeps going. So we reach the 2-minute warning, and this offense trying to get something going here and cut into this lead before halftime. Try to muscle toward the end zone on the ground. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
What a job by this defense. They would simply not relent. Incredible effort.
All right, it's 2nd down and goal now for this offense. Looking to score with a run to the right. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
What a great job there by the defense, reading that play, pursuing to the football. Nice loss of yardage there on 2nd and goal. Now it's 3rd and goal for the offense.
Straight runs, 2 losses. Now it's 3rd down and goal. Dropping back, it's Hall. But it's incomplete. They miss an opportunity, and now it's 4th down.
Hey, the good news is here, Chris, they're still in field goal range, and they didn't cost themselves any points. But they could have more. Got to be thinking about going for this on 4th and short.
So now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit. So it'll be a chip shot from the right hash mark. This try is no good. Still losing by 14 after the miss.
That's a missed opportunity for some points here. The way they were moving the football, I thought maybe a touchdown, at the very least 3 points, but instead he shanks it.
And the Florida offense is back out on the field now. They take the field with serious momentum. They have been tough to stop so far. Can they keep it going? And they'll tackle him for a loss of 5 yards. got some ground to make up. 2nd and long from the 15. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Hit just as he throws the ball. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw that time. And now 3rd down coming up. We'll see if the offense can move the chains off that incompletion. Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long. And he's looking to make a big play downfield. Oh, that one's picked off. Follows the pick with a nice return before finally getting brought down.
It's 3rd and long, so as an offensive coordinator, you can either play it conservative or trust your quarterback and take a shot downfield. They elect the latter, and it ends up backfiring.
The Longhorns offense takes the field. Not a whole lot of time remaining before halftime to cut into this lead. And he's going to fling it deep, going for it all here. And the deep shot falls incomplete, but wait, there is a flag on the play, so we'll check that out. That one hurts, backs him up 10 yards. Big guys up front lined up. It's 1st down. To the air. It's Hall. And that catch is hauled in. In the clear at the 25. No stopping and takes it all the way. Touchdown, Longhorns.
Love to watch this quarterback go out and execute in this kind of situation. He's doing a great job of ignoring the scoreboard and feeling a sense of pressure to have to play with more urgency. Right now, he's executing. We're only in the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And they're able to tack on the extra point. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. He's going to try for a return from a couple of yards deep in the end zone. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. The Gators offense retakes the field. This offense trying to bounce back the last possession, ended in a pick. Looking for his big tight end. Grab down the middle. It's Cross. The tackle is finally made, but a huge gain. They'll spot the ball near midfield at the plus 49. The offense will now quickly spend a timeout. So the offense looking to be efficient here. Not much time remaining before the end of the half. 1st down. Looking to throw the football. Goes to his right side there for the completion. They get him down, but not before he gets to the plus 38. Timeout is called to talk strategy. Time for just 1 or 2 plays here before halftime. Offense keeps moving. It's a completion for a 1st down. The corner's now playing a couple yards off the ball. Receiver makes the grab. They bring him down to the 25. They're moving closer and closer to the red zone. The offense will quickly spend a timeout here after the play. So just before halftime here, out comes the field goal unit. Field goal try, no good. He missed it. And after the miss, it's still a 7-point lead. And that will do it for the 1st half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update. Longhorns will kick it off to begin the 2nd half.
Texas.
He's going to return it from deep in the end zone. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. And the Florida offense retakes the field. First down, looking to throw the ball. And it's incomplete. Even in a 1st down throw, he was under some heavy pressure. Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Looking to scramble. context as he let the ball go. It's incomplete. He took a hit as he threw the football, and it brings up a third down.
And I am so impressed with the athletic ability and speed of this defense. Quarterback does a pretty good job of keeping the play alive, scrambling off to his right, but that defensive...
He's going for a big play downfield. Oh, and it's incomplete and very nearly intercepted. They wasted opportunity for a much-needed takeaway there. The Gators will have to kick this away. That's the first punt of the afternoon for this offense. Oh, and he's got some space here. Oh, the returner fumbled it. And the coverage team able to bring the returner to the ground.
Oh, man. That's got to be tough for this offense. They thought they were about to get a chance to start a new drive. You got your helmet on. You're ready to trot out on the field just like that. You're headed back to the bench to wait for another opportunity.
And brought down at the line with that big defensive tackle.
That back just had nowhere to go. Got to give credit to the defense. On that play.
Here's the second down play. Here's the snap, looking to throw here. Not enough on that one. It falls incomplete. So the ball at midfield, and now the offense facing a third and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. He's moving out of the pocket, trying to extend the play. Ball's incomplete, broken up by the defender nicely that time.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this third down and long, but when you're so far behind the chains, boy, you really allow this defense to dictate things, and it allows them to put pressure on your quarterback and can affect the timing, as we saw on this play.
And the returner brought down by the coverage team. Okay, the Texas offense comes back out on the field. They punched it in the last possession. Can they do it again, or will this defense make some adjustments to get a stop? On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Launching downfield, and he pulls in the catch. He's tackled quickly, but the yardage is good enough for the first down.
Well, the running back that time just kind of sneaks out of the backfield and shows his hands on that nice catch.
First down play call. How aggressive will it be? Dropping back. It's Hall. He's moving out of the pocket. He bought some time, now lets it go. And it's incomplete. Comes up a little short on that throw. So second down after the incompletion. And they're moving the receiver now before the snap. Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. Makes a quick catch. Solid gain there. Moves the ball out to the 32. They bring him down, but the freshman quarterback showing off the arm strength.
Well, you can tell the quarterback knew exactly what he wanted to do with the football. He was going to that in route no matter what. He hits it for a nice gain. Here comes a first down pass attempt.
Oh, and he doesn't hang on. Looks like it was deflected before it got to him. That'll bring up second down.
Just a great play on the ball by the defensive back, getting a hand on it and tipping it up into the air. Boy, anytime you see a tip go up, often that defense is thinking interception. This one falls to the ground, but the next tip ball could be going the other way.
Quarterback looking to throw it on second down. Pressure is coming. Trying to create outside the pocket now. Caught way downfield for a huge gain. And he'll be taken down, but a penalty flag on the field. So the quarterback lost track of where he was. He was all the way beyond the line of scrimmage before throwing that pass. Offense facing a 3rd and long from the 28. Got to have your pass protection in order in this play. Looking to chuck it again. Looks to the left for a quick throw, and he's got it.
Good job by this offensive line, and a great throw by the quarterback to get that first down there on 3rd down. That's exactly what they needed to do. This is too big of a game. They've come too far. They're in the playoff. You're down in the second half. Good job of keeping this drive alive.
Looking downfield, it's Hall. Quarterback escapes the pocket. He's on the run, launches deep. Catch made down inside the 25.
A huge play by this offense. Good timing between the quarterback and the receiver. You can see the quarterback wanted to put that ball away from the defender up high. And how about the receiver? Adjusted that ball thrown to the outside. Does a nice job of getting his feet down and comes up with that big play.
Looking to throw it on 1st down. There's a shot toward the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone. And they bring him down. Great play by the defense, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see if the play stands. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Longhorns line up on 1st and 10 now. From the shotgun, it's a handoff. He's got some room. Can he get there? And he runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
Chris, we get so caught up in this era of the spread, of throwing the football, and the quarterback and the receivers. This is a great example of the value of having a running back that has a nose for the end zone and can take it in for a touchdown.
Kicking team on now for the extra point. The PAT is up and good, so we're tied up here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. He's going to bring this out a few yards deep in the end zone. Tackled at the 14. Not very good field position to start here. And the Florida offense is back out on the field now. This group is coming off a quick 3 and out. Can they put something together in this drive? A pop pass on the jet sweep. Moving past the 25. Tackle made after a big gain. One play, and they're already past the 40. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give. They've got him, but not before a solid gain on the ground there.
Just love watching this back run. Gets behind that offensive line, lowers his pads, and gets a nice solid gain.
2nd down after that run on the previous play. Defense seems to be dialing up the pressure here. Moving the receiver around pre-snap. 2nd down, we're going to throw it. He's escaping the pocket now. He's going to try to use his legs here. They bring him down, but not before he moves the sticks with a 1st down gain.
Defense does a great job of taking everything away downfield. This quarterback wanted to take a shot, but nothing is there. The only problem is they didn't account for him taking off and running, so he picks up the first down.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. That one falls incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up 2nd down.
Everything about this play tells you about today's offenses and what they're asking out of their running backs. You can't just be a guy who runs the football anymore. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't do a very good job of it on this play.
Quarterback looking to pass here on 2nd down. He's moving out of the pocket now. This time it's complete. Finding some room at the 25. And we're finally able to bring him down. A big gain to wrap up the 3rd quarter. So here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a 1st down. Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Quarterback leaves the pocket, on the move now. On the run, he'll let it go. And it's incomplete. The defender arrived the same time as the football, and now it's 2nd down. Looking to throw it again. Tries to get it to the running back. He's got it right near the end zone. And he's run out after a big gain. The offense will be set up for a 1st down and goal. They've got a 1st and goal. The offense a great chance to break the tie here late in the game. On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Well, this defense is being challenged. They're close to their own goal line, but how about this play? All 11 guys coming together. They stood firm. The result is a short loss for the offense. Nice job.
Ball moved back to the 4 for 2nd and goal. Secondary up now, trying to jam these receivers. On 2nd and goal, they hand it to him again. Touchdown, Gators. And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, that's an example right there of what vision and patience and ability can do for running back. He was on a mission to get into the end zone, and really, he made it look easy.
And the PAT is good. Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away. Trying to make a play from deep in his end zone. And he's tackled just short of the 25. The Longhorns offense takes the field. Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. A gain of 2 yards. Now it's 2nd down and 8.
Hey, it's a great job in this defense containing the running game. If I'm calling the plays, I'm not abandoning the running game just yet. I think it's important to have some sense of balance. So throwing and running is essential. Stick with it.
Getting set. Here's 2nd down. Quarterback making some changes at the line. To throw, it's Hall. Throws it to the right. He's got it for a big gain. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a 1st down.
Chris, I think you got to give all the credit to the wide receiver here. Man-to-man coverage on an out route. That is a tough ask. Good inside move on the stem to separate from the defender, and a great throw by the quarterback near the sideline.
Fresh set of downs for the offense after that 1st down completion. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. It's a deep throw down the right sideline. Intercepted right near the end zone. What a play. Not much on the return, but they create the turnover.
Boy, this defense has been great the entire football game here. They knew they had a lot of pressure on them in the playoff. They stepped up and played well all game long, and now they get a critical interception here late in this game.
The Gators offense retakes the field. This game just got tighter. The temptation might be to sit on this lead, but we'll see how aggressive they get. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Man, just complimentary football, really, in a nutshell. They get this football back thanks to their own defense, creating that turnover, working with the lead like this. Really, it's all but over. Now the offense is just thinking about running the...
And it's intercepted, a crushing play. Not much on the return, but the defense comes up with a takeaway.
Wow, a risky call by the offensive coordinator, playing with the lead in the playoff in the second half, throwing the football. I don't disagree with it, but now you give this defense a chance to create a turnover, and they capitalize here with the pick.
Great chance for the offense to tie the game. 1st and goal. They'll run it here. Makes it across the goal line. Touchdown, Longhorns.
Chris, it's a great touchdown run here by this back, but the continuity of this offensive line was on display, and that's the reason he was able to get into the end zone.
And that PAT gives us a tie ball game here in the final quarter. I believe they're lining up to attempt an onside kick. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Now the kickoff team is out on the field.
Texas.
And the return starts just inside the end zone. Tackle at the 13. Not great field position to start the drive. And the Florida offense retakes the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. The D coordinator showing heavy blitz pre-snap. Oh, and nothing but green grass ahead. Now the 40. At the 30 now. At the 10 now. Touchdown, Florida. And they claim the lead here in the final quarter.
This receiver is putting on a show today. That is 3 trips to the end zone already. And based on how this defense is playing against him, this may not be the last time we see him in the end zone today.
Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. And he'll take off from deep in the end zone. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Okay, the Texas offense comes back out on the field. And looking to throw now on 1st down. Receiver makes the catch. And a big gain before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs.
The key on a drag route is to put the ball out in front of the wide receiver to give him a chance to do what he just did. Pick up some valuable yards after the catch.
Play action here on 1st down. And he lofts it toward the left sideline. Pass caught. Can he get in? He makes it to the end zone. Touchdown, Texas. Now the important point after attempt. The PAT is up and good, and we are all tied here in the final quarter. Now they get set to kick it away.
Texas.
He's going to bring it out of the end zone from a couple yards deep. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. And the Florida offense is back out on the field now. Last possession, a one-play lightning strike with the big touchdown pass. Can the defense make adjustments here?
It's exactly what you want to see as a play caller. You get positive yards to be able to kind of keep you on schedule as a play caller. That's all you can ask for. Good job up front and a nice run.
They look to throw it here on second down. Catch made on the right side. They bring him down after a short gain there.
Wow, they get positive yards here, but I have a sense that they wanted a little bit more with that pitching catch.
Third down here. Time for perhaps one more play before the 2-minute warning. And the clock has stopped here as we've reached the final 2 minutes of play. So the offense faces a third and manageable here from the 25-yard line. Can he make it to the marker? And they tackle him, but not before he picks up the first.
Well, that's mano-a-mano right there. Offensive line knowing exactly their assignment, getting a hat on a hat, and that back threw just exactly where he needed to go to extend this drive. That's a first down.
The Gators will line up on 1st and 10. Oh, it's intercepted. A critical late mistake here. Going to take it all the way in. Pick 6. Touchdown, Longhorns.
What a play here by the defense. We kept thinking this defense might have to come up with a stop to give the ball back to their own offense to see if they can maybe take the lead. But instead, they take matters into their own hands and come up with a turnover and a touchdown.
And the returner elects to fair catch it. No return. Gators offense retakes the field. It'll be interesting to see if this quarterback can bounce back. He threw a pick 6 in the last possession. Quarterback moving out of the pocket, trying to create. Just gets the pass away, but took a shot that time.
Well, sometimes an answer for an offensive coordinator against a good pass rush is to move the launching point, move the quarterback from one spot to another to affect the rhythm of the pass rush. That's not having any kind of impact at all on this defense. They're getting after this quarterback no matter where he is. They do a good job of it right here.
And this pass is on target, caught. And the defense grabs him after the completion. He's just short of a first down.
Man, give the defense a lot of credit. You're taking away the elite receiver. That primary target forces the quarterback to find a second or third option. He gets positive yards, but anytime you can take away the big play late in the game, it's going to help you be able to secure victory.
Quick throw over the middle. Wow, that is interception number 4 today for this QB. They get him down after a short return, but the interception gets the football back to the offense at the 36.
Oh, you feel terrible for this quarterback. He's played well all year. He's trying to make a play, trying to force it into coverage because they need points at this point in the game to try to advance into the next round of the playoffs. Puts it into coverage, and that's probably going to do it.
The Longhorns offense takes the field. So it's still a one-possession game. The offense would love to work the clock here, but they can't take their foot off the gas. In the clear at the 25. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big gain.
Boy, really good run by this running back. The defense fortunate to be able to bring him down inside the 10-yard line, but it's 1st and goal for the offense.
First and goal. If they play this right, they can pretty much put the game on ice. And the fullback takes a turn running the football. That's a nice wrap-up there by the junior. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. Offense facing 2nd and goal. Tailback tests the middle of the defense. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Boy, they're just not successful here on 2nd and goal, but let's give a lot of credit to this defense. They've looked good on these first 2 opportunities by the offense. They strung that last play out and forced a loss of yardage, bringing up 3rd down.
Great job by the defense so far. It's 3rd and goal from a long way out. Now the offense will spend a timeout here, wanting to come up with the perfect call on this important play coming up. Urgency here in the 4th quarter. They must cut into this lead. It's 3rd down and goal. Using the ground game here. Tailback has the handoff. And they'll get him down that time.
Well, another nice run by this running back, and he's well over 100 yards now on the game. A big part of the reason that they're going to win this football game and advance to the next round.
So on 4th down, here comes a crucial field goal attempt. This one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
And that one, my gosh, I mean, it's almost too easy. Nice kick.
After extending the lead with a field goal, they'll kick it off now, trying to make the offense go a long way to win it.
Texas.
And he's going to bring this out from a couple yards deep in the end zone. And the returner brought down by that coverage team. And the Florida offense retakes the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. Time is running out. They'll take a deep shot. Aggressive call. First down, but incomplete. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. No press coverage. The DB's backing up now. And the clock winding down. They'll take a deep shot. And that is interception number 5 as the nightmare performance continues. And he's got some open field ahead. And he steps out after a nice return. What a momentum shifter this could be.
Oh, Chris, the offense could not afford to throw that interception down by a couple of scores. Every series matters. Every opportunity in possession. You need points on the board, and to throw a pick, you just wonder how many chances more they'll get.
First down here for this offense. Keeping it on the ground here. He's got room, looking for the end zone. Brought down at the 3. That was a solid run. The offense sets up with a 1st and goal. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Texas. That's another touchdown for this running back. They can't stop him. Dream performance in this playoff game.
Yeah, this is going to be a performance we're going to be talking about for a long time. I just love watching because he's doing it in so many different ways. We've seen speed. We've seen his physicality. He's breaking tackles. Boy, just an absolute dream scenario, as you said.
Of course, in the playoffs, it's survive and advance. This is a crucial W. Great performance, but now the stage gets even bigger. The challenges will continue going forward.
Yeah, more and more pressure will grow as this team continues to win football games. But you and I have been around this team all year long. So impressed with the emotions and how they're able to contain themselves, stay focused on the task at hand. They did that again today. They advance. Cannot wait to watch and see what they can do next week.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.